Hey folks, Happy New Year. I hope all of you had a great New Year. I mean, unfortunately, that's not the case for people in Japan. As you know, there's a 7.6 earthquake that hit on Monday, and damn, that is unfortunate. What a timing. Japan, one of these places where these things happen often. I saw this and I thought how interesting it is. This is one of the typical things that ends up costing the life of people, especially when you're in countries that have great anti-seismic construction, which is definitely the case in Japan. But look at that piece of stone, that block of granite or whatever this is. This can fall, tip over at any moment and crush. Just imagine how many tons that thing weighs. Same for this one. So these are some of the more common reasons for tragics during earthquakes. You know, stuff that falls over and hits people. And here we have something else. Listen, the panic, the fear, even if there's no one actually being injured, this is also something that comes into play, especially in terms of survival and preparedness. Stress kills people. Stress kills most people during economic collapses, during disasters like this, eventually, and it's something that is very difficult to calculate. In the case of Argentina with the economic collapse, research was done, and it was thousands of people that ended up dying beyond the normal records in terms of heart disease and things they could actually measure compared to years before that. So the same applies here. How much does it affect your life to constantly live in fear of the ground moving, of the earth moving, and this happening to you all the time? It is all the time. In places like New Zealand, they have over 300 earthquakes per year. Basically every day the earth moves a little bit. Maybe you notice it, maybe you don't. And yes, it is more rare, the larger ones. But man, these are seismic places. Personally, I would really try to avoid it. Now, but Fernando, it's been my entire dream to live in Japan, watch anime and manga or whatever the hell that is that they do in Pikachu or Dragon Ball. Okay, fine. Do your thing. Do whatever it is you like doing. But be an adult about it, understand the risks, and plan accordingly. These people are very well prepared for all of this stuff. They have not only a construction, they have the education on the population, and they are great at it. They're very organized, they stay calm, so not everyone starts looting everything right away. So yes, all great. This still happens, and you still have to live with this. Would it be something you're okay with? No? Okay, don't live there. Maybe relocate. So these are, personally, I've always avoided living in places that have this kind of risk. I've had a little bit of earthquake that I actually, this is happening. But because of knowledge, because I knew that it was not specifically a high risk, stay calm, passes, and it's very rare. You don't see it again in a very, very long time, and whenever it happens, it's not gonna be freaking Japan, okay? But it's just something you have to deal with. So preparation, information, all of that comes into play here, and then you have things like these, which is the fallout of something like what you just saw. A plane with over 350 passengers in Japan caught fire because it had first crashed against a Coast Guard plane. So one thing linked to the other. Because of the earthquake, there was a plane in the air, and maybe poor calculation, poor communication, crashed against the airliner. The airliner, though, managed to land, but on fire, and exploded as it landed. How many fatalities? None. These guys survived all of them. It is amazing. So, it's the two sides of the coin. Tragic, crashing your plane against a smaller airplane on flight, and then surviving that, yet in spite of that. If you see these images and you think, man, no one came out of this ball of hell alive, and yet they did. It is incredible that it just went, it just kept on moving like on flames like that. Look at this. This is diesel. Jet A fuel is basically diesel, so it doesn't ignite like gasoline. You need an enormous amount of heat for this to burn like that. So that must have been very damn hot. Yet, all of them made it out alive. What an important part of this, not panicking, following the instructions, having capable and professional crew members on board just to organize things and avoid anyone, oh, I'm jumping out of the window. No, stay calm, we're doing this, okay, and actually that being the correct call. So, folks, as always, if you want to learn more about stuff like this, survival and preparedness, you not only have the channel, you have my books, Surviving the Economic Collapse, 3 Survival Skills, available in the links there below. And for stuff like this, maybe bugging out and relocating is where I cover more of the strategic analysis of different places to live in, different states to live in within the United States, and the mental process that goes into all of that, part of which is just this kind of stuff. Folks, see you next video. Take care.